This episode of the Great Lakes Outdoors podcast is brought to you by
Migrate Ammunition, GK Calls, Gibraltar Boatyard, Point Malay Waterfowl Festival, Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, Turtle Box. We'd like to give a special thanks to Brian Ellithorpe. Give him a follow on all social media.
We appreciate all the support. Now let's get to the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Chris and I are sitting here with a special guest tonight, Durk Stark. Man, what's going on?
Hanging out with two boys here, and hopefully I'll learn some things and
Hopefully
have
we'll
a good
learn
time visiting.
That's what I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to hearing the story about everything. You know, just a few phone calls that we've had. I've been super excited to pick your brain about a lot of this stuff.
Well, I hear the Great Lakes Outdoors. I think about the Great Outdoors with Doug and Bob McKenzie.
That's yes.
That's way before your time. Way before your time.
We know what you're talking about now.
The problem is you can't say that because we can't make you look bad or old or anything. We got to make you look young and stay young, man.
Oh,
that's the problem.
I wish, man. I'll be 58 this year, so I've been around a while.
I was guessing 24. That's what I was guessing.
Yeah, you could have fooled me.
Right. Yeah, you all that stuff.
It's just a camera lighting. That's all it is. It's just a camera lighting. But
makeup.
Yeah. Do you want to explain or explain who you are or what?
Sure.
I can't even.
I'll give it a whirl.
Like the company's alone. The company's alone. Like,
The man of many hats.
Yes, we'll put.
So here's the deal: is that I'm really a nobody. I don't kill big stuff. I'm not a very good shot, it's just I'm an average guy that really got started in the industry 35 years ago, just grinding. Back in the day, you know, when I first got married, my wife's like, "What are you spending money on hunting stuff for? We don't have money for that." Been there, done that, right? And so I thought, oh man, I don't know, I got to do something. And I started making turkey calls, wingbone turkey calls, and I showed Chris them and started doing seminars. And my friend said, "Hey, well, I'm a rep. How about you come and do some seminars for us?" So I did seminars for scent lock and buckwing decoys and Thermacell and Miopta optics before there was internet. And so we'd be at Cabela's or we'd be at Shields or Gander Mountain or Fleet Farm and doing those kind of seminars and really learning how to be social. And I actually did a video on this once, how to be social while you're on social media, right? Because it has to be back and forth.
Right.
And and that's what was cool about those old days. You know, calling with Jeff Foyles or Rick White or Alex Rutledge or all those guys. I'd be doing calling contests with them, and then afterwards we'd visit with everyone in the store and we'd be selling stuff, and it was like this, you know. And now today I see influencers are like, "Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me," and the product is lost somewhere. Yeah, so that's really, I'm just a kind of an average guy that was, you know, teaching, building houses, bartending, started a call business, and doing seminars, and pretty soon I got hired on to do marketing for a company. And my buddy Steve Johnson launched a camo pattern called Mothwing that we licensed the first stuff to Sitka, and we licensed it to Cryptek and Proas. So they use our patterns, and then I was still doing different things, and I said, you know what? I don't want to follow a rep group because they change brands every year.
Right.
If you know anything about rep groups, they switch all the time. I'm like, I want to pick the brands that I want to represent, and so that's what I started doing. And I worked with Chris Rager when we launched the Toxic Broadhead from Flying Arrow. Ben Stern, a long time ago, had this little cylindrical camera that fit in your gun or bow called Tacticam that we launched.
Yeah.
Wilderness Athlete, hydration recovery, we launched that, Strut and Red Energy shots. And just literally I did all that while I was teaching full time.
Wow.
And grinding and going things. My last year of teaching, I took 45 days of unpaid leave off to go do my outdoor job. And I said, you know, that's almost a whole quarter of school. Probably not the best thing. So that's when I made the jump and just said, I'm starting my own marketing company. Scary as all get out, you know, to go from a job with benefits and stuff, and you got a paycheck every 2 weeks, to I've got to grind. I got to make this work no matter what.
Yeah.
I think
But it was the best thing I ever did.
that's the biggest thing though too nowadays. We talk about this all the time, is the people that actually want to put the time in to make it all work. And they know what kind of chances they should take, but they never do it just because they know that they're not going to be able to I don't know, keep the same level of energy day in and day out, and be able to, like you said, grind it out and do what they need to do.
Yeah,
you know, it's just the losing
that, and there's a sense of fear, I want to say too.
Oh, and that comes. I mean, back when you did it, it was a sense of fear. I mean, that's always going to be.
You just got to take that leap.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's different too, because back in those days, I mean, we would go, I'd drive 2.5 hours one way to Prairie du Chien Cabela's, and you'd go there and they'd send you a cheap t-shirt put on, maybe you'd get a hat,
Right.
and you'd go there and you'd work all day and sell things, and at lunchtime you'd get a cold barbecue sandwich, a Coke, and a bag of chips, and you come back home and they're like, oh, you get $50 for that, and by the way, you get a 30% discount on our product, right? How many influencers today would do that?
Every one of them. Well, I mean, I don't know, the pro staff nowadays and stuff that people are just randomly asking people. I'm sure you get it all the time with the companies that you're affiliated with. I don't even want to like think about that, man. That'd just be a headache in itself.
It is. It is. You know, and every year for the brands I work with, we go through different, like Flex Fletch Vanes, for instance. Right now, I've got 235 different shooters from around the world. Wow. And that people ask every year to come on board. But to sort those people out and communicate with everyone, it's like managing an army.
Yeah.
And then I have that for all my other brands as well, Velvet Antlers and Ballista Crossbows and Modern Spartan and all the different companies that I work with. It's really a people thing. I have a different philosophy. Some brand managers are all about analytics and algorithms, and I'm about grassroots. I want to connect with people, and but I have a full-time person that handles my paid ads and all that other stuff. Yeah. But my job is really hugs and handshakes,
kissing babies and shaking hands.
Well, you know, whatever works, right? Whatever works. But but it is fun to do that, to meet, like, you know, visit with you guys, or, you know, I might be talking to Ralph and Vicky or Pat Nicole or Waddy or something like that, and it's just always fun to meet new people. And I love to spend camp or go out for a cocktail at a trade show or something like that and have a good time and meet new people.
That is one of the best things about those shows like that. And Velvet Antlers, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Velvet Antlers is where me and you connected at. I reached out to you on there.
Yeah.
Chris bought you guys' turkey fans, like the spray for the turkey fans this year.
Fan line.
Worked out incredible for us, and I was just kind of blown away about it all. In reality, just like, okay, what are we even spraying on this turkey fan? What is it going to do? How much is it going to hold up? And they're holding solid to this day. And granted, it wasn't that long ago, but it blew my mind, the product in itself.
Yeah, we did like 5 turkeys out of one bottle, which is pretty dang good, I want to say.
Yeah, did a handful for sure.
I'm just pulling wine down there. This is when I shot this spring out in South Dakota.
That's awesome.
And it's so good because it smells so good. Because other fans, if you've got one in your garage or something, they're so nasty.
Yes. Talking to the guy at work about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, so those wings there, those turkey wings, I did that with fan lock too, deboned it. And so then you can, you know, just have them on your wall or use them on your decoys.
Wow. So I've been seeing your like that product alone a ton on social media, and you know, you always see like this stuff on social media and you're like, that is sweet, but like you're kind of iffy about it until you use it. And once we did, I was like, holy crap, this stuff is awesome. One, and then two, you know, telling people everything about it and showing them videos, and the guy at work wants to buy a bunch of stuff now, and I don't know, it's cool how, like you were saying, not kissing babies all the time, but if it works, it works. But
yeah,
it's who you get to meet on the journey that, you know, we're all on. I'm
lucky that because I've been doing this so long, that people refer me. They're like, oh, I see this guy for this brand, right? So then they'll call me. So I get about 10 brands a month that call and say, hey, can you help me? And I'm like, I would love to. I'm booked up, but, or if it's a deer peak company or broadhead company, I'm like, mm-mm. I mean, I like things that are unique and different. And this whole product line, there's nothing else like it, right? Or that little ballista crossbow. Have you seen that?
Is it explain? Because I might have. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
But
So
The thing
this is
awesome.
yeah. So I saw these guys at ATA
Okay.
probably 4 years ago, right? It's this little tiny crossbow, and literally we've killed deer, hogs, turkey, bear, mountain lion, with it. And we put a bow fishing reel on it, and we're shooting 60-pound alligator gar with it, 40-pound carp
crap.
with it, and you literally cock it like this. You just
It's
boom like that,
Slingshot.
and look how compact it is, right? Then to decock, push the button, and you decock it.
what?
It's not a 150-yard crossbow, but 35 yards and under, which is what average range for 80% of all bow hunters. It's a cat's meow. Or we shoot prairie dogs with this at the ranch. We put 3 guys in chairs with a coffee can of bolts in it, and you just sit there looking at the prairie dogs. I mean, here's what it sounds like when you shoot. It's like that quiet. So that's a cool product line. My vanes that I work with Flex Fletch, it's the only vane made that way with the same materials. And if you look up the Easton thing, the FFP 360 right now was the quietest vane and the best vane for stabilizing broadheads out there from Easton. And right now I have 39 national champions from different countries that use our stuff. I sponsor the Indian national team, Korean national team. I don't know. I've 15 national teams I sponsor because it's that vein will come back to shape on its own. It's 30% lighter than other veins. It's so unique. So I get to choose things like that to work with. My friend Skip at Gearhead, he's got that little compact 24-inch bow, super lightweight, stable, that people won Vegas with it. So Kool-Aid Archery, a new arrow company, they've got a new centrifugal weave. So I get to meet people, find out their stuff and go, God, that's pretty cool. And I'll kind of check it out for 2 or 3 months or watch them at shows and develop. And then I'm like, what do you think? Should we figure something out?
Right. And go from there.
That's kind of how it goes.
That's pretty just insane. One, to be, I guess, that in depth with all these different companies and to be able to meet that amount of people, I guess, over time is one of the things I love, like I was saying. But just, I don't know, it's crazy. I don't even know how you have time to even do the podcast. But again, so I appreciate you spending the time for it, man. But
it's fun because I can get away. I've been on the computer since 4 this morning.
Oh.
It's nice to just visit and not worry about getting a hold of this buyer, sending this spreadsheet, sending this pricing, getting this video done. It's kind of nice just to kick back.
What is for you starting off in the industry or multiple industries? Like for you want to go your own route, the grassroots way, which I think is the best way to go about it, and just being natural and letting people come to you and not just following the crowd, I guess. Not following these big companies. And so I respect you a lot for doing that. But what is like the biggest thing over time that you've seen change in the industry?
Well, when we launched Flying Arrow, the Toxic Broadhead, our marketing was nothing to do with social media. Chris thought it was a joke to be on Facebook. He was like, this is nuts, right? TV shows he thought were crazy too. So all we did was buy full page ads for 4 months in every bow hunting magazine. And we sold hundreds of thousands of broadheads.
That's crazy.
So imagine that today. No one buys magazines hardly at all.
Yeah.
Right.
I work with a lot of the major TV shows, but I have different. I'm not sponsoring their shows. I have content packages that I want with them. Social media influencers. I'd rather have the average guy work with us and create content, send content in, and share stuff and talk about it face to face than pay a large TV show for it.
That's
That's the best way to go about it, I think, truthfully. That's like
It's harder.
its way.
It's definitely harder,
but it's more natural.
Yeah, and I think people appreciate it more, and that's the
Yeah.
problem that we have with our local groups. They're kind of stuck in that magazine and the old school way of going about it all, and it's just you're not going to get anywhere that way. You got to, I guess think outside the box in a sense, and it's kind of stinks in a sense that like a pro staffer isn't like what a pro staffer used to be anymore. It's completely a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, many brands use their basically. I can think of a scent company right now that relies on 90% of their sales selling to their pro staffers.
That's insane.
And so they'll sell them direct with the 30 or 40% discount, which is like, selling to a dealer almost.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're really devaluing themselves. But I just think that whole part, I don't like the whole thing that you're a pro staffer, or on our applications, I have, a staff member, but not a pro staff. But the first thing on all of them is, have you bought the product yet? Have you tried it? And what products do you like? And if someone can't answer that, I want people to know the product, try it and buy it first. Send some content, create some content, start a relationship instead of, hey, what will you send me for free?
Yes.
There's so many people, where's my handout? I want this. I want that.
I thought you were like going up, I don't know, like, yeah. What are you pointing at right now?
Kyle got nervous for a second.
Yeah, I kind of did. I was like kind of backing up.
He's having some theater.
But yeah, that is everybody, and it's like that's just not the way to go about it. Like you don't even know. Like you said, you haven't ran the product. Why do you even want this product? You just want the free stuff. You want to have a title per se in your bio or whatever it is, and it's just it's kind of a shame. And I feel like to an extent, it's kind of pushing. I don't know, not people out of the sport, but it's just kind of
devalues.
Yes, like the reason why we go out there and hunt and the passion of it behind. Like there's passion obviously, but just kind of defeats some of it all.
So why did you guys want to do a podcast? Be the next Michael Waddell?
Well, I got invited to do a podcast. I think it was about 2 years ago per se. And after I got done with the podcast, the guy wanted to jump on or wanted me to jump on like every Wednesday to do like a waterfowl Wednesday because he was more of a deer hunter as waterfowl. And I said, all right, that's fine. Like that sounds pretty cool. Over time, we started moving buildings and we finally landed in the building we're in now. And he had some family issues going on and was going to sell the equipment. Well, I still had Great Lakes Outdoors, and he had his company. But with him selling the podcast stuff, I said, well, it's kind of an opportunity I can't kind of pass up with doors opening up and just getting to meet new people and a road that I'd like to kind of continue on, And so I bought the equipment and just kind of ran with it and figured it out as we went. Thankfully, like Chris here edits for us and does a lot of just the podcast in general. So it was kind of weird. It just kind of fell in our lap, I guess, per se. There was no rhyme or reason. And the biggest thing with the waterfowl aspect, I wanted to talk to people all over the country to figure out how they hunted and how I can implement that into my own hunting. Because it might be one little piece where I never thought of it before, or whatever it may be in their spread or the hide or even deer hunting per se. They could help me in certain situations. And that's what I like talking to people about.
Do you know this call here? Speaking of your waterfall junkie, right? I'm going to see if you know this. Let's put you to the test.
You're probably going to show me up here. Good Lord. No, yeah, I'm not even going to try. Do you know?
No.
I'm probably going to get, I honestly could say I don't know.
No.
Ken Martin's goose call. This was so out of Lamont, Illinois, and they were huge This is a Horseshoe Lake model, and man, it's so funny because I'm not a huge goose caller, but it's so easy to blow. And literally, I don't know how many tens of thousands of these things, but yeah, I love collecting old calls and then, getting the history about it and all that good stuff.
That is one thing that so I'll give you a little bit of a backstory, like with me wise, and this podcast isn't about me, it's about you. So I hate doing
No.
this. I started goose hunting, I'd say about 2016 ish, right around there. And I was the first one in my family to do it. Ex-girlfriend's dad took me out and got me into it. And then I said, well, screw going out in the water every single time. Let me go out, start talking to these farmers and trying to get into the fields, and kept on getting no's and just wanting to, I guess, be better than the next guy. So being the first one in the family, it was hard because there was nobody to really, in a sense, like mentor me, or I kind of had to figure it all out in a sense, and got my dad into it, got my uncle into it, and then just started growing relationships and friendships off of that. So that old school stuff, man, you got me on that. I'll give you that. But it was tough in the beginning. Like, we didn't know. Like, me and my dad's first hunt on a pond, we're sitting underneath like a burlap sack underneath a tree with some old Polish guy behind us beating on a tractor. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna kill him today. We didn't even see a goose that day, So it's just
right. I got a story like that too. See that painting up there? That's Scott Storm's painting. That was the youth painting of the year, and it's of a duck marsh that my first duck hunt was on. And my old science teacher owned that marsh, and it's called Banky Slough. And I don't know what the fancy name for it is, but my dad gave me a bolt action 410, right, with the three in the clip.
Yeah.
And he put me on a muskrat hunt. That was my hunting blind. Just sit on a muskrat hunt. And he takes off in the canoe, and all of a sudden the teal comes flying over. Bang! I shoot the thing right away, and he's like, he thought I was shooting at him, and I dropped the first one in the water. So we get it to go get it, and of course we tip over the canoe.
Oh, geez.
And I've got, in those days you wore like insulated coveralls.
Yeah,
they were just soaked, right? So our hunt was over after one duck. We drove to the farmhouse there, put our clothes in the dryer. I had a bowl of cereal and sat there, and we're like, okay, I guess we're done. that was the first duck hunt. But Scott painted that, and because of my connection with Wild Wings, I got to know him. So that's actually one of the artist proofs of it before they gave me for my birthday, because I told him that story.
That's super cool.
I think that's one thing like about waterfowl hunting, whether it's the decoys, the calls, the paintings, whatever it is, there's so much more of a historic feeling with it all, I feel like. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed even learning more about throughout the previous years.
Right.
We had some old decoys in the room here, which you can't really see right now, but just the stories they could tell you if they could talk, and how many probably misses that they would tell you about. It's just pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, it's neat stuff. So Chris, how about you?
Podcast?
What's
so?
Yeah.
Well, so
you chuckled when I said you want to be the next Michael Waddell.
Don't get me started with him and turkeys. Don't even get me started with him and turkeys.
So, I had a podcast before, but I never posted, and I absolutely loved doing it. And I got introduced to Kyle, and I knew he had a podcast. So, we're just talking about it. Then, became friends with Kyle, and then one day Kyle was like, "Hey, you want to be on the podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then ever since, I've just been started helping out with the podcast. Then
I'm on a couple hunts last year.
Yeah, and then we just formed a great connection, and and it formed all this, and it's been pretty awesome.
It's hard to find guys that have the same passion nowadays, I feel like, especially like in the waterfowl industry and maybe the deer industry too, but like the scouting aspect, or like the day in and day out just drive
that grind
you need. Yeah. And when you find those right people like Chris here, you got to stick with them. It's just easy. It's makes it easier for everybody at the end of the day, and makes it.
Well, don't get involved in the hunting industry if you like to hunt. Because you won't have time.
What did I tell you? I literally told him the same thing.
So look at here. So I'm a guide and outfitter in the Black Hills. 8 weeks a year, I'm usually out at the ranch. Last year, I got to hunt 2 days out of 8 weeks. out there. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then, people see me making videos and content for all these brands, but most of the time I'm quick running out doing something. And, I mean, I had 120 acres of just beautiful on food plots. My neighbors were all killing, 160 to 190 inch deer. And I'm out in the woods during the daytime doing videos of blinds and tree stands and just buggering things up. And it didn't pay to hunt, so that's why I was like, okay, I'm not going out at the ranch now and hunting out there where I have more time, but didn't happen.
That's what Chris wanted to kind of, well, you kind of tell a story about it all. Like you want to kind of get, or do you want me to tell it?
No, I mean, it don't matter. I was kind of leaning more towards, like getting into the industry and whatnot. I mean, obviously I have a really big passion for it. But then Kyle was like, you got to have that separation. That separation is important. And like the more we talked about it, the more I started to realize, and like the more like we started doing a lot of stuff, when it came to the scouting and, I was always scouting, but like
right.
just doing all the work and whatnot. And, I kind of realized, okay, I do like to hunt a lot too. So it's like,
well, you can only go to so many shooting events that you gotta just donate your time and not, shoot in until you're like,
right,
kind of getting too much for me, and gotta have your own fun, I guess, per se.
Yeah.
In it all.
Yeah.
I mean, because even Q-Tip, our buddy Q-Tip over at Migra, he was telling me the same thing the other day, and I brought up that same story, and it's just like he spends so much time on the phone. And I'm sure you do it in traveling, and I know you do that.
Yeah.
It's just like, when do I even have time to go out there and just enjoy me time anymore? You're around it, which is great, but in the same sense, like you gotta
have the boundaries.
Yeah.
And I've learned now that when I go out to the ranch, I'd have very little cell reception out there. And so that's great because I can try to focus, but I'm still in my head, I'm still running with the camera, taking pictures and video and doing stuff, even though I don't have internet, right? So the best thing I can do is just leave the phone in the cabin, or, if you've got spouses, take time to just drop your phone, shut it off, and be with them for a while, because otherwise you got to have that break so that you stay sharp. You stay sharp for your other stuff,
That's for sure.
Definitely.
That's I don't know. That's just one of those things where it sounds great in the beginning of it all until you really get, elbows deep into it, and you're like, man, this is way more than I expected. And just the work alone, like you said, you're running around, you're running a ranch. Were you having like paid clients there for hunts and stuff? So what were you mainly doing?
Yeah.
Deer hunting?
Mule deer, whitetail, antelope, and turkeys.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, even that though, alone, like you want to make sure your clients are getting the best experience that you could possibly give them. And unfortunately, you're putting a lot more work in. Yeah, you're getting paid for it, but you're putting a lot more work in than, I mean, I guess you're seeing the excitement, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you're not getting any of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've learned that I can have just as much fun with my buddies that come out and hunt with me out there than hunting myself, because I know they're better shots than me for one.
You need to know that.
And some of the people are killers. Joel Maxfield, he is a killing machine. I mean, I'll go out there and I want to, have a hot dog or brat and talk and stuff, and he's like, let's go out, go, or skip from Gearhead, But Joel has been out to my place and he doesn't even unpack. He rolls in and 25 minutes later he's got an antelope on the ground. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
People just got that in them, man. I don't know what it is, but they have it. They have it.
Yeah. I'm out looking at the birds, trying to kill a rattlesnake, bring it back to camp, or a sharp tail, and there's a porcupine there, and just enjoying the no cars. I mean, we're 15 miles from the nearest neighbor and 45 miles from the nearest town, so it's just quiet. So I'm like, I feel like Forrest Gump or something.
That is one of the best movies out there.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
So, but it's pretty. And other people in the industry do things differently. Like they'll have marketing companies, but all they're doing in their marketing company is they're doing paid ads or that kind of stuff. Or you have a sales team that just does sales.
Mm-hmm.
My philosophy in the industry is you have to have sales and marketing together. And so I try to talk to my staffers about that. If you're going to be a staffer, help us with sales. right? Give me your local dealer contact and go out to them, that kind of stuff while your camera's going in and out. But I do the content creation for the brands. I do the marketing with the TV, print stuff, um, the trade shows, set that stuff up, attend the shows. I do product development for the shows or for the brands as well. Um, and then I do sales to the distributors and to all the box stores. I mean, I got started, yeah, I didn't do it all at once,
Right.
but being this long in the industry, you just, hey, I'll do this. For 7 years, I worked for a Chinese company and I designed tree stands, ground blinds, and ice fishing gear. Yeah, for all their private labels, all the Dunhams, Runnings, Orschelns, Mills Fleet Farm, Cabela's, all private label. We worked on all that.
Wow.
And so, but I got to the point with China. No, I want to just deal with Americans because I didn't want them. If I come up with cool design, all of a sudden they sell it to someone else
Right.
with a different price and just all that stuff that people hate. But American consumers are always about the cheapest price,
Yeah.
and they don't realize it's all coming out of the same plant.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It gets tough in that. Even like the social media nowadays, I kind of just keep going back to that. Because a lot of people, it's a big talk in the industry, I feel like, with if it's ruining hunting or whatever it may be, and just being different from the competitors per se, if you're an outfitter or whatever. But like even like buying like the followers and stuff, like people buying followers and just trying to get like be someone that they're not, and not just, I don't know, being themselves. Like,
Yeah, most brand people talk about that, but in most cases, it's really, it used to be able to do that. You can't do that anymore. You have to earn them. With the algorithms, you can't just go out there and say, hey, I want to add this many followers. They may do giveaways. And that's the crazy thing. If you see a brand doing a giveaway, look at, and where it says like and share and like and share, go look at all the people that have liked it and shared it. 90% of them will be people that aren't hunting at all because they want to win some free something and then sell it on eBay.
yeah. Oh, there goes the camera again too. Yeah, that is, I don't know, because we've talked about even like the giveaways and stuff too, and it's just such a hard thing to do because of that reason right there.
Yeah.
And I guess the fakeness is where I'm getting at. It's just like not again what it used to be. I'll say when you first started per se, like
Right. In the old days.
yeah, I wasn't gonna go that route. But okay, yeah, in the old days. No, and that was the first kind of conversation that me and you had on the phone about the changes and I don't know, I guess just the atmosphere around the hunting culture in itself, if that's the right way of putting about it. I don't know.
Well, it's got commercialized for sure. And a lot more direct to consumer. It used to be less. If you could get into Cabela's, you were set.
Right.
But now all those big box stores have their own private labels. So most of the innovation is done other places. And then it just buries things on social media. So it is definitely tougher, but more brands are liking because they make more money going direct to consumer than giving away 40 or 50% of their margin to a retailer.
Right.
But sometimes it's necessary because some things like mineral, seed, hunting blinds, it doesn't make sense to ship those to each individual place. They need to go somewhere where people can pick them up.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that's for sure. Kind of going back to your like the ranch and stuff because I'm kind of curious about that. Did you do like many food plots or like prep for the upcoming years and stuff? I'm sure you did, obviously, but just kind of, I guess, tell me more about the ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're about an hour north of Sturgis. It's 20,000 acres. So it's part Black Hills, part Badlands, part Antelope Country, and part Creek Bottom.
Wow.
But it's super, super dry there, about 6 inches of rain a year.
Holy crap.
And so you have to go there in the end of April, first part of May, and dig your seed in and get it in. And it's never going to look like an Iowa food plot or a Wisconsin food plot. It's different, and it's different. You're dealing with triticale and rye and wheat, maybe a little alfalfa if you're lucky, some oats, but just different grains. And you may get a year that it's like this year, the rye out there was as tall as my chin, right? And it was cut, just crazy. In other years, the rye will only get 5 or 6 inches and the grasshoppers will get it. And it's just a cement thing out there. It's just crazy. So out where we're at, it's really the Wild West, but we put in about 400 to 500 acres of food every year out there.
Wow. How many clients do you guys usually? Are you guys still running clients?
I'm this year. I have one more year. I donated some hunts to Pope and Young, Scholastic 3D, and something else. I've got some hunters coming out, but with the travel that I've got with my company, Start Growth, my Vesser Care company, and my Polyforge, my technology company, I just don't have the time to commit out there. And so, yeah, I'm just gonna basically it's gonna be my golf course. So once a year, twice a year, I'm gonna bring friends out and say that, hey, let's go hunt.
That'd be a good time. That's
Yeah.
I don't know. Just running an outfitter alone, getting started, getting the name out there, and having enough people have that good of a I don't know,
success rate.
Yeah, well, not even like success rate, but just having that much of a I don't know, an enjoyable time and memorable time.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to get a solid ranch or outfitter or whatever it is, you know.
Or you just have to be like me and say, I've never been to a guide and outfitter. I don't kill big things. I'm not a very good shot, but come on, we'll have a good time.
I mean,
put your expectations right there, right?
That is a very good way of putting it.
Yeah, but I was really lucky that Joel comes out on hunts. Skip from Gearhead, Brad Rux from Deer Hunting Magazine, his son guided for me. And to have those guys come out the first year, and I said, dude, I don't know anything about this stuff. And I'm a flatlander from Minnesota, so to be out here in this big country, Joel helped me out, figure out, and so they gave me ideas about to do stuff, and that helped a lot. But just to have them out, and then I learned the history that Keith Beam and Brooks Johnson that started Double Bull had the least when they first had Double Bull. So it was to have that history is pretty cool. But tornadoes, I mean, this last year I lost 22 hard-sided blinds to tornadoes.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
And tree stands and cameras and stuff. So you put that money in and it's gone.
Yeah.
And you can't insure that kind of stuff.
That's the hard. Yeah. That's tough. That's
yeah.
Yeah. That's the stuff as an outfitter that people don't see though either.
Oh yeah.
Like the blinds and prepping the blinds up or the cameras and just buying that kind of stuff. The cell cameras, buying like the photos per month or whatever it may be. It's a lot. It's a lot more than people think. A lot more work.
Yeah.
Than people think.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I made a video after the end of the first year, and I was just wiped out. I mean, because out there the sun comes up early, so I'm getting up about 3:00. Getting food ready, coffee ready, and stuff like that. Taking clients out. We're about 4:30 getting out there, so you're out there before sunset, especially for antelope. And then you go hunt all day because heat is the best time of day, and literally it's light out till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
In the middle of August and September out there, so you're out glassing even in the evening still, and you get back, you have supper. Now it's 11 o'clock at night by the time you're washing up, and if you got to make some phone calls, well, then you're getting up at 3 the next day. So you do that for 5 or 6 weeks, your butt is whooped.
Yeah.
And then you're putting on 12 to 15 miles a day on your feet alone. Mm-hmm. And I remember I posted a video, and I was like, everyone thinks this guiding is just the best thing, man. It sucks. You miss your wife, all that, but you have to. I learned balance because the first time I was out there for 3 weeks, bam, 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 and I missed my wife. She missed me. Missed family stuff. Oh, it rained. This broke, and you feel so guilty about being away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all good either.
That is a tough thing too that not a lot of people talk about is like the family life.
Yeah.
When it comes to this kind of stuff, the stuff that we give up or don't get to experience because we're doing
family.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing like the hunting stuff, and we're missing out on those family
right.
things. It's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, my wife was pretty good. I said, honey, I got this opportunity to be a guide and outfitter. And she said, well, is it what you want to do? I said, it's every guy's dream to be a guide outfitter, isn't it? Right? It's in the Black Hills, and and she said, well, if it's your dream, you better do it. And I was like,
did I hear you right?
is this my wife?
Yeah.
Right?
That's awesome.
And yeah, but she knew that I would just go hard, and if you go hard, you realize quickly that you can't be a part-timer.
No, it's
when you're a guide outfitter.
You're all in, or you're not in at all.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
What is some of the biggest, like, I guess, obstacles with so many hands in the pot per se that you've, I guess, witnessed over time with these companies? Like, so many, like, there's got to be so many things that there's changes in general of the outdoor world that you've had to overcome.
Wow. I think the biggest is sometimes the pettiness in the industry, it combined with the pettiness and egos, right? So I think everyone that I know, Tim Andrus or even Waddy or other people, you get going, and all of a sudden it's easy for your ego to get the best of you.
For sure.
I was working with a company called Strut Rut Energy Shots, and so they bought me a Ford 650, with 2 Jaeger machines, and I was supposed to go to concerts and Bass Pro and Cabela's and shoots and roll the truck up and start pouring shots of Grey Goose and Jaeger and give out energy shot samples and throw out T-shirts, right?
Do you steal all those drinks and use them yourself, or did you
well, it was called quality control, right? Yeah. Yeah. But it's easy when you get in that scenario and you're at a Craig Morgan concert or Zach Brown or Low Cash, and you're doing this stuff for your ego to get the best of you, or the company's, gets you this truck and says, here's your credit card, go to as many states as you can and pay for your drive, all that stuff. And it's really easy to lose yourself. And I know a lot of people have, and then other people get jealous, right? So when you crash and they're like, or, and it's now being past all of that, 20 years plus past realizing my mistakes. Now I have to go into things with authenticity and honesty, and know my limits, what I can do and what I can't. And a lot of what I do now with my staffers, my archery shooters or the hunters that are staffers with me, is give them opportunities and teach people and do things, give them opportunities that I got, that someone gave to me, that I have to pass on. And, whether it's taking people to SHOT Show or the ATA show, or going out for dinner after working a show and buying everyone steaks, and passing on that because someone did that for me, right? And not just being selfish, right? Inviting hunters out, people that served in the military out as a freebie for the hunt, or you have to do things like that to give back. Like you guys are doing this stuff for the conservation groups, and it keeps you humble. And you've got to have a spouse to keep you humble too, because it's easy. We're all about big racks and big kills and go. And if that's all you're in it for, don't get in the industry. just go hunt.
Has it
because
always been that way with like the big racks and stuff like that, even like before social media? Has it always been like those kind of guys have just been there?
It's more profound now because more people see what's out there.
Right.
And, tags are higher, public land is harder to get on. But, I don't know. I guess every time some things are good about now today, and some aren't. Right. So you just have to kind of roll with it. But I think what's nice about it is if people are on social, they get connected like you and I did. Right. You can have fun. If you don't take the time to do that, then you're missing out.
Again, like what I enjoy the most about this thing, like the podcast in general, just getting to meet people like you and just hearing stories. And it's all bizarre to me, the opportunities that are given to us to talk to, just a wide variety of people that, you never think about even talking to 10 years ago per se. And you're like, holy crap. Like we had Sean Stahl come in. I'm sure. Do you know who that is by chance?
No, I don't.
So he's like
waterfowler.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's kind of like the Jeff Foils
And
category.
I'm kind of out of that because you have to get your niche. I'm in
Yes.
hunting and big game and archery, and that industry just is a whole nother ball of wax.
Yes. No, I agree with that. Just hearing stories about Sean in high school and thinking, man, that'd be sweet just to even talk to him for a little bit or get the chance to. And then him actually coming in for a hunt and spending the time all day or 2 days with him and having him
That's
come in.
fun.
It's such a pummeling and crazy experience with it all. And even the podcast.
Oh, that's big. That's Big Sean, right?
Not Big Sean. No, a different one.
Oh, okay. Because I see Big Sean at Game Fair every year.
Yeah, I want to say they're not far from each other living wise, but yes, different Sean. I haven't got the chance to talk to him yet. I'd like to. But I don't know. It's just so bizarre to me in the humbleness of it all, and like never forgetting where you came from or where you started. For people, I feel like is a very important piece that people overlook a lot.
Yeah, it's. I think today's generation might feel. I use the word entitled. Like, hey, I have a YouTube channel. What are you going to pay me to talk about your product for one video?
Right.
I mean, I see that all the time, and it infuriates me. And what's hard is that some companies will hire a new techie algorithm person. They're like, oh, look at all these followers these people have. And I'm like, great. You're going to get one video. They might talk about your stuff, and there's going to have some gal on there with a T-shirt that's half on, and that's how they're getting their views, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, really? That's how you want your product represented? I'd rather have it guys with, working class guys with grease on their hands that just been working on their car and go out and kill something and go, this stuff actually works.
Yeah. The appreciation that those people have compared to half naked people on social media. I mean,
right. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I definitely do. I definitely do. Because I can't.
Are you followers or subscribers?
No.
What?
That's
Oh no! You got me confused there for a second. I was like, "Yeah, wait. What am I saying? Yeah, to no." Just
Chris is right on it. You knew what I was talking about. I was waiting for him to fumble on that one. Oh yeah, I am.
Yeah, you should see his Instagram.
Just don't go through my phone, right? We'll leave that off here. It's kind of just sad because it kind of like puts the guy that really deserves it a little bit further down.
Yeah.
They're not there for the right reason. And I asked about like the big bucks just because I feel like there's a lot of times now with, whether it be turkey hunting or waterfowl hunting or deer hunting or anything in general in the outdoors. It's a dick swinging contest. Like, you got to have this, or you got to shoot this buck, or you're getting made fun of it. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a shame.
Or you don't have to subscribe to it like I don't, and just say, I'm out here having a good time. That's my biggest right there, and it is what it is, and I don't have any shame in that because I enjoy the outdoors. I don't enjoy killing Andre from Lone Wolf. Him and I worked on some things, and he's wanted my help, and I said, "Here's the deal, Andre. He always joked about my deer, and I'm like, Andre, you're really good at killing things, but I'm really good at marketing.
Right.
Just stay out of my lane."
Right. I think that comes in time, though, too. I mean, that's a part of
the stepping stones.
Well, the stepping stones, yes, but like just the growth as a hunter. Wise, I guess, the five steps in hunting. I guess you're bloodthirsty. You want to get out there as much as you can, shoot whatever you can. And then as time goes on, you kind of just want to be out there to enjoy it. It's just growing up.
Yeah. Chris, do you have this is my approach to turkey hunting. Is this yours, Chris? So turkey season rolls around. 7:00, the alarm rolls off. 7:30, you get out of bed, go out for breakfast, eggs, bacon, toast, coffee. About 10:30, I suppose it's time to head to the blind. 11:00, you go to the blind, and then hunt from 11 to 1, and that's turkey season.
Don't let him do that.
No,
I don't let him do that.
it's either Kyle's waking me up or I'm waking him up with a phone call.
It wasn't bad this year.
No, it wasn't too bad.
I don't know if you woke me up once.
No, I did.
Maybe twice, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let us do that.
I don't hate turkeys that bad that I have to get up at 3 anymore.
Oh, I do.
Oh.
I do. And, like, I see the way that like me and Chris is. I shot my bird the third day of season this year.
Yeah.
And then kept on going out every single weekend. I mean, we're weekend warriors at the end of the day, but we just have, a platform that I guess, people like to follow. Like we're nobodies at the end of the day. Nobody's anybody. That's the way I look at it. Everybody's just people at the end of the day. Everybody lives life the same way. People just might have some, whatever. But I was out there. Well, Chris and I both were out there every single weekend. I don't think we missed.
I missed one weekend. For sure.
I was saying maybe I missed one day during the week.
Yeah.
Weekend, but I was out there. I was taking new people out there every single weekend, or we both were, and I hate them, but I love watching the excitement out of like new turkey hunters and seeing their first bird, or just getting new people involved. I guess even just hearing their first gobble in the woods.
Yeah, new
something.
people hooked on it. Like we took out Brian this year, and just seeing how like excited he was to kill that turkey, and it was like. I mean, I missed the same time he killed one, but I was probably more happy that he killed it than me killing a bird that day, because it was just seeing him and having him have that experience just himself. I'm glad I did miss that bird. Yeah, I beat myself up about it sometimes, but I'm glad he had that opportunity just himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, turkey hunting is cool because you get such reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It is so fun, but by the end of May, man, I want an RPG and just.
I'm ready. Yeah.
I'm usually out with the bow or crossbow, and so bow. But most of my turkeys with the bow, I'm shooting at like 3 feet, right outside the blind. I'm sticking to the ground, but. By the end of the season, you're like, oh, geez, get over here.
Yeah.
I heard that gobble. I just want to let her buck.
Where's the scope at? I'm going at night and getting this joker right now.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's probably why most of the people, or whoever did miss this year, probably missed, because they were probably at 3 foot, and the choke it was too tight at that distance. I don't know, man. It's just getting those birds so that close. I hate the 80-yard shots. I hate all.
Oh yeah.
I want to get them close. I want to be able to.
Yeah. Decoys are at 5 feet for me.
Okay, I'm not that close. But I'm.
Yeah, that's Brooks and Keith from Double Bull told me that always put your decoys like 5 or 6 feet away from the blind, because the birds are going to come in, or if they hang up 10 yards from that, they're 15 feet from you.
Yeah. That's good.
Good
way
instead of hung out way out there, and you get better footage and all that stuff when they're close.
Oh, definitely.
That's one thing that we kind of got into more this year. I always was sitting on the ground, or I'd throw blinds out on our properties, and just, it was easier for me to get new hunters out there, to new friends and family. I guess it's not new hunters, because that sounds more of like we're taking clients out there, I guess. But getting friends out there that don't understand, like, how good their eyesight is, for example. The blinds already set up. We don't have to carry a bunch of stuff out there. Let's just jump in and go.
He's going to bring a turtle box out there next time.
Who is that? Chris?
Chris. We were just talking about hauling junk out in the blind. I said, you got to haul that turtle box out there with you too?
I think I did once this year. I think I did.
Yeah, I think you did.
Are you playing turkey calls through your turtle box?
Well, I'm not going to deny or I'm not no comment. Plead the fifth on that one. I don't know who's watching or who's tuning in, so I'm going to plead the fifth on that
Depending on the electronic calling practices in your state, right?
That's why I'm pleading the fifth, yes.
Check with your local game warden.
Yes. I don't know. It's just that's what I love about turkey hunting. I guess I lost my train of thought there.
No,
I don't know.
This year was a fun year. We had a good time this year, and just the memories we made. And we talked about going out to breakfast like every time we went out. We didn't go out to breakfast.
No, we would just scout or go run and gun the rest of the day.
We were so jacked up. If we didn't kill a turkey that morning, we were so jacked up. Like, oh, let's go find some turkeys.
Yeah, even though there was no point at all. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell him about your bird that you got?
Yeah, we can talk about
Not
that.
to put it on the spot again, but you got called Waddy earlier on in the podcast here, so hunted like Waddy, I should say.
I'm nowhere near that, but yeah. So we came out to this field
Like 1 o'clock or something.
Yeah, 1-2 o'clock.
That was when he slept in and got out there about at 12:30. No.
Yeah, had breakfast and everything. No, we went out there and we were. That was our first time hunting that field, I want to say, right?
Yeah, I walked all the way out there and started calling, and I called you guys out there.
We were sitting at the truck, me and Kyle's girlfriend, and got the call. Yeah, come out here. We ended up sitting, just
5 minutes maybe,
right in the brush. A couple jakes came out, and then 3 toms came out, and
I'm sitting 20 yards or so behind them guys.
You're like, where are they? You see them, but you're like, what's going on? What's going on? And next thing you know, I 3, 2, 1, shoot, and
I see 3 birds take off, and I'm like, there is no way that 1, Chris missed again, and 2, Sid just missed. I was like, there's no way. Those 3 times were within, let's say, 15 yards.
Oh
or so.
Yeah, it was close. Yeah. And they were putting on a show. They stopped for a second, took the shot and took a shot again. And Kyle's like, "You missed?"
I was.
It was like Kyle was mad at first. I was like, "No, I definitely got it." And then it flew off, and I ended up getting it, and it was in the fence line. And it was stuck in the fence.
Oh.
You know the feeling when that is one of the hardest things that I give all outfitters and guides credit for is when you put someone in a situation and you think they miss or just a missed opportunity, I guess, on a Pope and Young buck per se. And you're like, how in the world did that just happen? What went wrong? And that's what I'm just thinking of instantly. And then Chris walked back with a turkey with its head basically gone. But I don't know. It was good. I had to get way off topic here again to go left field. We talked about shows and festivals when we first talked. And what have you seen from past years until current events? The hardest parts about these shows, because I feel like it's a dwindling thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, most of my brands aren't going to consumer shows anymore. It's not worth it because, they charge parking, $10 for parking. They charge $10 or $15 to get in. So a husband and wife comes in there, they got their kids too, and then you're buying a $5 water or $10 beer, and this family spent $200 before they get anything to do anything. And there's so many these days that to go to the big brands can't be there that people want to see. So all you're seeing is Scentsy candles and weird stuff like that at those shows. And I don't know, it's just not, the ROI isn't there for the brands to be there. I go to the industry shows, the SHOT Show, the ATA show, and then I do some other horse shows and some other dog care shows that I go to, but they're national or global shows where people are coming in from all over the world, not the consumer shows. And it's hard. The consumers want to get out and see people and see things for hands on, but it's so expensive to do that for brands these days, and you don't sell that much stuff at the shows anymore, and so you go backwards, and so it doesn't. It's really sad because I loved them, and I still do 14 different shows a year, but they're not consumer shows,
right?
Because it's not what it used to be, because there's so many people have opened up so many that the celebrities can't be at all of them. It's too hard.
And I even feel like the celebrities nowadays aren't as big as they used to be per se. With how many social media platforms and pages on social media,
right?
Everything is just so drowned out.
Yeah.
And it's just, yes, some people will know, but it's just like, okay, it's just another person. What's the big deal? I'm not gonna go see their seminar when I can go watch it on YouTube or whatever else there is.
Oh, well, right, because now also the streaming has taken things over,
Right.
and YouTube has taken things over, really. So if a lot of the major TV shows that are outdoor channel, mega giants, they're struggling because they're not getting that direct consumer response and immediate stuff. So they're trying to build their YouTube pages to catch up with the 20 and 30-year-olds that have been doing it for a while.
Right. That's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's such a change.
It's different.
Yeah.
And it's something to be sad about. It's just a pivot. It's a learning situation. So I'm working with TV shows to help make those pivots, right?
Right.
How do we do things differently and connect to people? And so that's the fun thing for me is problem solving, is to figure it out because things evolve, and if you don't evolve, you're dead.
Right.
So that's the cool thing. So anyway, but do you guys have any questions about any of the brands I work with or anything like that? Or
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I do, but and yeah, I'm like we've been on a tangent for a while now and haven't even talked about any of these.
no, that's fine.
So go ahead.
Well, you showed me the antler stain.
Oh yeah.
So what's that and how does it work? I want to know about a little bit more about that. Well, I want everyone to know about.
So this,
like we talked
yeah.
about
So this
before.
is a real shed, right? The color of it.
Mm-hmm.
This was white, and look at the difference. There's really no difference in them at all, right? So there used to be a chemical out there that was a purple chemical that was really really runny, and I tried that on some things, and they got too dark, and it was messy and slopped all over the place. And Daryl, the owner, was talking to Pat Reeve, and we came up with this solution. So it's more of a gel, so it's easier, it's thicker, and it's brown already, and it works really well to get, you can see that coloration. And so you just start out at the bases here and put it on and wipe it off to the edges, and on the tips when you're there, you just take a little sandpaper on the tips to get that white, and it's really that easy. You're done in 3 minutes.
That's super cool. I was showing him your antler, like the antlers we have back over here, and he's like, "Oh, you got to get this stuff on here." I'm like, "All right, that's sweet."
I've
That's
seen the
super
videos
cool.
on that.
Yeah.
And that was one of the ones the guy from work, he was like, I gotta have that. And then the whitening for like the skulls and stuff. He was like,
Yeah,
it's awesome.
yeah. The skull boil now actually is great because we actually did a video where we put a deer head in with the meat on and the fur and everything and put it in, and 20 minutes of not boiling but simmering, 20 minutes there, and then we power washed it and blew it all off, and literally there was hardly any grease left in the skull. So our Bone Bright degreaser and whitener just finished it off like that. But that skull boil really helps take that gelatin and cartilage out much faster than a traditional just straight boil.
It's just such a fascinating, like just all those products alone are just insane to me.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah, we just had a meeting today talking about that. We're not trying to sell the products. We're trying to preserve the memories, right? Of preserving the turkey or preserving the deer at the amount, making sure it's still there, that the moths don't get it, that it doesn't fade out, because your memories are tied into those things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're trying to do, and keep those around so that you can tell your kids about them or grandkids or stuff like that.
How long of a, like for a business, how long of a time for when you first come up with this product until you release it to the public with feeling confident on that product?
Well, everything's different. I'll show you this. This is kind of crazy. So Velvet Antler started with a velvet preservative. Daryl was a guide, and he was like, what do I do to help my clients? So he invented this over 20 years ago.
Wow.
And we didn't launch it until 5 years ago, the company.
Wow.
And so it's pretty cool because you spray it on and saturate, you can see how fuzzy those horns are. And literally you spray it on, soak it, let it drain out in the sun 3 days in the heat, and it smells good, perfectly preserved, and super durable. It's not freeze dried, it's brittle or formaldehyde, you're dealing with that stuff. So this company is just full of cool, innovative products that do that. And so, yeah, it's really fun to be a part of that because it really solves a lot of issues for hunters.
I want to say that was one of the first products that I've seen from
yeah,
that brand you're a part of, just because I mean it was I don't know. It's always so crazy to think like a spray can, cure like the meat around the knuckle of a turkey fan or per se, and then you could see all of that stuff. Yeah, scraping the meat off and stuff. You could see
right.
and it's like,
yeah,
that's not good. And you're like, no, it's rock hard. It's good to go.
Kyle was freaking out for a second.
I was,
like,
yeah.
No, trust it. Yeah.
It was. I don't know.
We'll get some turkey fans or wings and take them into NWTF and then freeze them and then thaw them out there so people can see they're stinky and raw.
Yeah.
And we'll preserve them right there at the show, and they're like,
yeah,
what?
It was mind blowing to me. Mind blowing that I don't know what's fascinating about that company alone is just that's the only one out there. There's no one else that's even similar. I feel like, and I could be wrong by that, but
no, there's nothing.
That's what's awesome. Even like the crossbow. I mean, crossbow, just to be able to decoct the crossbow is insane to me.
Yeah.
And how compact
so we have
it is,
we have two of these small ones like this, right? But now we have two larger ones, and the larger one I have actually the Megabat over there. I've got sighted in for 150 yards.
Oh, geez.
Holy crap!
And so it's not the same. You have to cock with two hands,
right? Instead,
but you don't need a crank. You don't need a special cord. And so each one has a different application, that you might want to look at. But that's pretty fun. I've got that. This one here, I don't know, probably maybe 3-4 pounds, probably about the same as a bow, maybe a little lighter.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you can put a bow fishing reel on here for bow fishing. So that's what we have a ton of fun with.
That's got to be sweet to do in the summertime. Now, we talked a little bit before the podcast about something you're working on. Is that something we can bring up?
Well, so I have another company that I own called Polyforge. So we're a technology company that we design innovations and then we license them to people or different companies. And so we've got a new resin that we're launching here that was resin, you think plastic, right? And it is it's right now our testing is it's 60% lighter than aluminum. And like a piece like this, well, actually, we did a test. So we have a video on it because I like tree stands, right? So I'm taking a 2-foot piece like a tread on a tree stand, 3/4 inch thick and 1 inch wide. So that span, if it's put a weight on the middle of it, would hold 9,000 pounds.
Holy crap!
And it's good for minus 50 to plus 450 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit. So cold weather doesn't affect it. Hot weather doesn't affect it at all. And so we're going to be making AR lowers, suppressors, stocks, anything Magpul related, tree stands, working on some body armor stuff. And so we're making it for other companies. We've got some air gun technologies now that we launched 2 guns at SHOT Show, a 223 that'll shoot over a mile, a 357 that'll take a deer out at 100 yards. And now we've got a small little piece now that will fit into most air guns that will make them 10 times more efficient. I got an old man Charlie horse here. Isn't that great?
I wonder what you're doing there. Just a little scratch.
Yeah, I got a Charlie horse. Yeah, I need less coffee, more water. But so I'm going to 2 large companies that make air guns right now, and we'll be adding that to their product line to make their air guns, to basically go from a toy air gun to a full-on hunting air gun that will be able to take out deer, hogs, anything like that at a fraction of the price of the $5,000 air guns out there currently that are supposed for hunting.
Yeah,
air guns.
I think those air guns they're really starting to pick up. Like people are starting to really get into them. I used to watch like back in the day, like guys were like using air guns for like coyote hunting and stuff like that. And now like I'm seeing like people use them for deer hunting now. It's insane. We have an air cannon that'll mount on a Humvee. Oh my gosh.
What?
Right.
That's I gotta see that.
Right. Yeah. But our stuff is just crazy. We're also using the same technology for heating and air conditioning. And then we've got something else I really can't talk about yet, but I mentioned it to you, that will be pretty revolutionary for the firearms and military industry. So we're pretty excited about that too.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What?
Yeah.
What is an air cannon on a Humvee? Like what is that
It'll
even?
take
Like,
it'll take out a tank instead of having to deal with a gunpowder projectile with flash and bang. You can use an air cannon to take out a tank at about a mile away.
holy shit!
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have a partner that's a little bit on the spectrum, and everything he does is way outside the box. And so, the things we've come up, we actually have a new coating to replace Cerakote that goes on thinner, can handle higher temperatures. It's an air dry. The average guy can spray it on. It's called Duty Coat. Can spray it on their gun or their bow and have a coating that's super durable and won't flake off like powder coating.
Okay, so what made you like as like what made you get into all like these companies, like all of this stuff? Like you just grow up and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna mount this air cannon on a Humvee or whatever." Like what kind
Well,
of
it's because what happens is that if you're just doing marketing, you're there, right? And as I get closer in life, I'm like, I want some company that's mine, right?
Yeah.
So to have it, it's down for retirement or things. So you start thinking about how do I get equity in things? How do I do a part of things? And you start meeting people and hey, I got an idea. Well, how about I put this to be, let's do this and make a company out of it and do that kind of thing. And that's kind of where a lot of that came from. For you guys that are waterfall people, I own a line of dog and horse care products called Vezir Care from Finland. And in Finland they use honey and spruce resin. Honey is antibacterial, antimicrobial, all that stuff. But the spruce resin in it actually, it's like sap. It actually has things in it to help regenerate tissue. So they're using it for surgeries on people and stuff in Scandinavia right now. And so we use it on, and then we incorporate it into our ear wash, the honey, so it's not just rinsing it out like alcohol, but it's actually getting to the bacteria and the fungus. We've got stuff for the wound care. If a dog has itchy allergies from being out in the brush or stuff that some dogs do, we've got a tar shampoo that soothes that. Or if they get bit up by no-see-ums or stuff and they're all itchy, this works on that. We also use it in the horse industry for hoof care and rain rot and all different kinds of things. So that's another company that I work
I don't know
with
how
and
you keep
co-own as well.
so
I've got a big whiteboard here
I understand it must
and a little ADD.
Yeah. That's like the perfect product to put in one of those like the dog care kits. Like
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with an organization called National Shoot to Retrieve, we're their national sponsor. And so they give away stuff at every one of their field trials and stuff like that. But it's been pretty fun to launch that.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I guess that's what's so hard for me today is there's a million questions and I don't even know where to begin because you are like everywhere, man. We go from horse to dog to air cannon. Like,
Yeah.
what is going on right now?
Yeah.
And most people aren't as off the wall as I am, but I've just realized diversity. Way back in the day, I was a stockbroker too, so you just learned you got to throw a lot of stuff to the walls to see what works, and you have to be able to take risk. And if you want to be in this industry is involved with a lot of risk. Broadhead companies or my friends that started Kool-Aid Archery, he was a police sniper in Dallas and said, I want to be in the industry. I want to make the best arrow out there. And so they've got a new centrifugal weave and a 4K and different things that are pretty cool. That centrifugal weave will actually help the arrow spin even without fletchings on it. And but he took a lot of risk and put a lot of money out. And in order to win, you have to take risk. And most people just have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
For even like small
Nothing wrong with it.
business owners and people that have ideas of new products and stuff, how easy is it for them to, I don't know, I guess grow to the highest potential? Because I feel like nowadays a lot of the higher up companies just buy them out so they are not competitors.
They do. They do. Some will do that, or some will bring them in. The hardest thing that a lot of people have, they have come up with an idea and they don't take the time to really research what's out there
Mm-hmm.
or what's been tried. I mean, I have people that come to me and like, oh, I've got this. I'm like, there was that thing 3 years ago. Here it is already being sold right now, and their sales aren't doing very good,
Right.
right? Or they haven't quite figured out. They come and they've got this thing for towing cars out of the ice that a friend had. Well, it was this big piece of metal. I'm like, who's gonna pack that into their ice fishing kit,
Right.
right? You know, they haven't figured out all those logistics about what that is, and I think that's the biggest hurdle. That people just have a good idea, they're gonna dump their 401k into trying to get it made, but they don't source out parts to try to figure that out, or they just go to one Chinese company and they put all their eggs in that basket and something happens. And so they really need help to double check and think things through or ask questions. And I do a lot of that for friends that are people that in the industry that have an idea. It's almost kind of an idea killer in a way. You have to go, hey, have you tried this? Or if you make this, is there enough margin for you to give a dealer a certain percentage or a box store? And if it doesn't, you're only going to go direct to consumer. And if you're going to go direct to consumer, you're going to have to spend, a lot of money to do paid ads.
Yeah.
So I like that, walking through people with things, and sometimes things win, like that crossbow. I met them at a little tiny card table at a show one time, and now we're doing a lot of stuff with them. Or Daryl, same thing. I met him from Velvet Antlers. Or Tacticam. I remember some friend of mine, when I was doing the broadheads, ran into Ben and said, hey, I've got this camera. I'm like, what? A camera that mounts on your gun or bow? Who's going to do that?
That's huge now, yeah.
Yeah. So it's, you got to ask a lot of questions if you're going to start something, and you got to work your butt off for it. If people just want to put it on a website and that's it and hope money rolls in, not happen. If you're going to come up with your own brand, you have to get out there and grind and do shows and stop by dealers. Nimrod Archery, Quentin over there, he's been down a dealer tour. I think he's visited 70 some dealers, just getting in his car and handshakes and showing product off and leaving samples, and he's getting dealers. He's working it,
Now, for like smaller companies and stuff, do you think there's any, I don't know, natural way of doing it anymore? Like is it either have money to be able to support this and buy ads and whatever it is, or can you just do it all natural and let it all flow in? Because I feel like a lot of the I was gonna say, I feel like a lot of the companies, you have to pretty much spend a lot of money just to get it out there. Wise,
even in the old days, you have to too, because you can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it,
right?
You're not selling. You might as well be in the middle of North Dakota and have a lemonade stand there, and no one's going to stop by.
Right.
You have to get out and work it. I started, you didn't know this, but I showed Chris 35 years ago, I started making turkey calls made out of wing bones calls, right?
Sweet.
Yep. And then I
one.
moved them up. Yeah. Then I started making them like this out of deer antler.
What?
Like that. And then, and then hollowed out deer antler on the bottom and wrapped them with copper wire and did artwork on them. But I was
awesome.
out doing shows, and I remember going into a Gander Mountain store and just hanging out with a buddy of mine and just calling, and people are like, what? Oh, here's my card by the chance. You have to be a little guerrilla underground sales,
Yeah.
But
I've never
it's been a while
seen a
since I
deer
called
antler.
those.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I sold these for more artwork.
Yeah.
But I went to NWTF the first time. Everyone is making turkey calls, and everyone's making these $15 wing bones. And I'm like, how the heck does anyone make any money?
right.
But I learned, just like deer hunting, you have to go where the big bucks are, not where all the fawns are.
Right.
Right. And so I started going to safari club things. Well, people there were willing to pay $650 for those calls instead of $15 at NWTF, right? And then I thought, okay, I was making 300 calls a year like that. I was like, and I got to hunt 2 hours. I'm like, this is stupid. So I contacted Wild Wings Art Gallery. So back in the day when all the banquets, they would do all the prints for all the banquets, right? So they did a reproduction for me for all the DU banquets.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I'll make one. And they do all of them, right? Well, then I did all the Whitetails Unlimited and Pheasants Forever. And finally, NWTF I did for all their banquets. And work smart, not hard. But I was grinding. I wasn't waiting for them to come to me. I was knocking on their door, you know? And if you're not willing to do that, then just stay working, do what your safety and security is. But
I feel like that's I think I said at the beginning of the podcast, just there's not enough people that are willing to do that. They hit us like a wall almost, and they're not willing to climb that wall. They're just, looking for handouts, and I don't know. It takes a lot more than people think, and I don't know. It's
not impossible. If an average guy like me that can't kill big deer and can, isn't a very good shot, can be doing this for 35 years, if you've got the heart and you've got the integrity and the willingness to work your butt off, you can do it too.
I mean, I feel like people skills alone has got to be one of the top things in there as well. Like being able to talk to people and relate. Because if you can't talk to people, and I could be wrong by this, I mean, you know a lot more than I do with it, but it's just like if you can't talk to people or, kind of influence them in a way,
right.
It's a lot harder.
If it's not in your nature, if it's not, a lot of people, it's not in their nature to do that.
Right.
I got my wife out of her introvert shell, and she was selling thermal optics and carbon fiber tripods at the Dallas Safari Club show, and she was having a ball at it because she's pretty good looking. So all these guys would come up and get her chatting. She wouldn't have to do it. But I remember in the day, Trevin Stolfus took me on my first TV show, bear hunt, and we went to Ontario, and he's like, "Okay, get you on camera," and I'm like, my boat, and and looking right, and like, can you tell me about this? And I'm like, and now it's literally I can pick up, hey, look at this new antler stain here we've got. It's this, and I can just roll things off, a one take wonder. But that just comes with experience. I mean, I look at my phone, probably this year alone, I've got over 1,000 videos I've made, and for brands. And it's like, but you have to practice. And I mean, if you're coming in and you want to do this for a brand, I used to have a tripod set up, and I'd have a white piece of paper taped to that tripod with the bullet points on it, right? And literally go over those bullet points while you're looking at the camera.
Yeah.
But literally, I would have to do that 5 or 6 takes to get that, and practice. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I was just telling someone that in speech class doing I hated that speech class where you're doing demonstrations and like, that's all I do now.
Boy, the tables have turned.
Right.
Even Chris and I talk about it all the time, even getting content wise. It's like, man, people driving by right now probably think we are so dumb. Like, what are those guys doing out there? Like laying down in the field and taking a picture of whatever. But I mean, that's content is, I mean, I would have to put that up to one of the highest things. I mean, the quality of pictures or videos or whatever. I mean, that goes a long ways for companies, I feel like.
Yeah. If you've got a guy in his garage holding up a deer, like this, holding up his deer like this,
right,
or whatever, and it's like, and there's a rusty truck in the background. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't use that. So it's got to be creative, and I'll teach people, my staffers, hey, lighting, it's about thirds. You have to be able to teach people that instead of just say it doesn't work, because then they feel hurt. And I've learned a lot. I went to school for art, but I've learned a lot just about cameras and light. Even with you guys, I'm like, hey, check your lighting. Because you learn to do that, pick that stuff up and see that.
Then it becomes a habit.
Yeah, right.
And
you get keyed into it.
Yeah.
This lighting in this
Yeah.
room has been bothering me, so thanks for like making me feel even more. No,
We've been talking about it the last couple days and whatnot. We're like, yeah, we should
I've
probably
been
change it up a little bit.
running myself crazy, just like trying to figure out. It's just like we just talked about. It's hard and as a newer company or just group alone to get the highest quality like videos per se or the sound per se or the lighting per se, and because again it's a lot of money that people don't realize, and in time you learn, and we learn about the lighting or learning about the lighting I should say, and I don't know, there's so
We
much
learn every day, really. That's but we're taking it in strides, and I think that's the biggest thing.
right.
Yeah.
Well, you have
You have to learn if you're not. I mean, I've learned so much. I mean, I started as an art major, special ed teacher, stockbroker, back to special ed teacher, carpenter, right? And then I got in the industry and I had to learn about cameras. I had to learn about photography. I had to learn all about Facebook and the internet. And then now I'm learning about air guns and everything, manufacturing, distribution, figuring out pricing and for brands and stuff like that. And I love it. I love to learn. And if you don't, you might as well. If you don't love learning, then just stay doing what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing with like hunting though. Like you have to keep on like learning, and that's like hunting is always changing, whether it be waterfowl or deer, everything is adapting and changing, and you have to relearn.
well, it's just being different than the next guy and doing better than the next person. There's a lot. Do you have any other questions? I have two more, and then
Yeah, I guess I mean we kind of touched on this, but do you have any other advice for like a starting up company? They're just starting. What advice? I mean, you kind of touched on some stuff, but do you have any other advice for like a newer company starting up? They're starting to pitch ideas and whatnot. What advice would you give them moving forward?
or even a person alone.
Or, yeah,
that was part of my question. A person alone getting into the industry.
Yeah.
No,
vice versa. Yeah.
Like how do you get into your position? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, time and stuff. I think the best thing you could do if you see a product you like, buy it, and use it, get to know it, make some content for that brand, send it to them, and say, man, I really love your stuff. Look what here's something I did for you. If you can use it, fantastic. Don't say, hey, I did this. Pay me $50.
Right.
You have to earn your cred. And many people don't think they need to do that. But I think the best thing that impresses us as a brand when someone says, like you guys, hey, I use this. I really love this. And I'm like, where's that damn video? Right? Because you know what? If you have that or be able to said that, it's like, man, they took time, that they like the product, to be able to make something to send to me. I'm going to keep an eye on them and see what I can do to help them out.
Yeah.
That's just the easiest thing to think about, and don't think that you're going to go from 0 to 60. Okay, I have a YouTube page, or okay, now I'm going to be getting 10,000 checks from people, $10,000 checks from companies. It's not going to happen. So take your time, have fun with it, enjoy it, and go look at new brands that are out and reach out to them. I wouldn't always go after the big brands because they're buried in big marketing corporations, but find the new stuff and research who's in charge of this. Go to their social media. Who's in charge of your marketing? Who's in charge of your teams? I'd like to get to visit, and just like we did, let's talk.
It's just hard
and get connected.
It's a gamble though, because I feel like a lot of the companies, they don't have that drive. They want to start something. They have a good idea for something, but even unless we find ourselves talking to these people that we're doing more work than they're doing for themselves. So it's like, are you just bearing a hole for yourself? Because at some point your name is backing their company. So what are they thinking about your company? I guess. So I don't know, maybe that's the wrong way of looking at it. Like you're affiliated some way, somehow, I guess. So finding those companies that have that same drive and have that same goal at the end of the day to help both parties grow.
Exactly. If you're not if you're a number to them, you can tell right away.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know?
agree. I agree. What is one of your most memorable hunts over the years, or I guess I don't know, times or people you met, or just experiences in general?
Yeah, that's a good one. I've had a lot. Um, I used to do these things for a group called a Kicking Bear, a youth ministry thing where I put together these celebrity hunts and people get a chance to win a chance to come into camp with 10 different TV shows and hang out with people. And so one of them we did was in Kansas, and I was with, well, stayed up real late night with Brooks Johnson and my friend Trevin talking about life and families and nothing to do with hunting. But then the next day, taking John Allen, who was president of Nikon USA out. So he's got this new little 20 gauge shotgun from his sons that he's bringing, and he didn't have time to mount his new scope on the shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So it's lightning and thundering, and we're going out turkey hunting, right? And my friend Kevin Weldon is with filming, and so we're out there, and we can hear turkeys gobbling out in this field. So I'm belly crawling with the decoy right out here and sticking in the ground. All of a sudden, and the lightning goes and turkey gobbles again. I'm like, he's close. There's no way I'm getting back to the. So I'm just head down like this, and he's coming in, and I can hear him all of a sudden, bam! This gun goes. I'm like, what in the heck? And the turkey goes, and the lightning goes again, and he gobbles again. And I'm like, all of a sudden, bam! Another one. I'm like, what in the heck? And 3 shots, right? And he misses him.
Oh my goodness!
And this turkey, and I'm like 20 yards from him, so he's shooting like 25 yards, and I'm like, what in the heck? And I lean back, and I see him, and he's got his head down, just like, I can't believe I missed 3 shots at like 30 yards, right? And I lean back, and on camera, I go, so John, can you tell me about that new turkey scope from Nikon? You know,
I didn't have much.
so,
to say.
no, he didn't. But yeah,
That's one thing, man. Like
fun.
the hunts alone, it's not always about the kill. It's just the memories that come along with the events that occur. I guess, you know, it's just that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I appreciate you spending the time, man. I appreciate just, I don't know, being able to pick your brain and I don't know. It's good. I feel like and important for, I don't know, younger people that have ideas and other companies, and just talking about the goods and bads, what you have to do, what it takes, I guess. And I know we didn't talk about your 417 brands because I don't even know where to begin as much as I would like to. So maybe we can get on and just strictly focus on
we can
that.
visit. We can visit another time. That's fine. I have a great time with you guys. I might have to have a beverage next time, but
Yeah, that's fine with me. That's fine with me.
We can plan that up.
That's I appreciate it, man. It's always like I said, a humbling thing meeting people from all over the place and just being able to.
Well, don't think it's anything great. I'm just an average guy, like I said, that has just met people and worked my butt off, and I think I've been on maybe a half dozen TV shows in 35 years. So I'm really been behind the scenes, but that's fine. I enjoy that, and I enjoy being able to visit with you guys. I figure out products. How do I help new people and stuff like that? So yeah, it was a great time visiting, and I hope we can do it again.
Yeah,
definitely. It's been
really
a blast.
Appreciate it. Yeah, for
been a blast. Learned a lot too, and we really appreciate it. You coming on.
Mm-hmm.
So
you good?
Yeah.
Where
can people find you? Where can people maybe get in touch or ask questions or whatever it may be?
Yeah, you bet. You can reach me on Facebook, Durk, Durk Stark, Stark, or on Instagram, or on LinkedIn as well. And you can then, or Stark Growth is my company, so I'm on Facebook and Instagram as well. Stark like Tony Stark and Growth like growing. You'll see some of the brands. If you have questions about the industry, about brands, or if you got an idea for a product and want to run stuff by, just give me a holler. I'll figure it out. The best way to do is hit me on Messenger that way, and I'll get back to you.
Again, it's awesome that you're so open about that kind of stuff, because there's not a lot of people in the industry that are as open, and I don't know why, but it's nice to hear you being so open and welcoming to people that have the ideas. So,
You bet. Well, it's fun. So
yeah, no, I agree. But again, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time. I appreciate everybody tuning in on this week's podcast. Again, we'll have to get you back out so we can finally talk about your products next time instead of just rambling on. So I apologize about that.
no worries. No worries.
So I appreciate everybody again, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you
On the Great Lakes Outdoor Podcast.
There you go.
Yes,
That might be the part of the new intro right there.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
Appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
We'll see
Take care, guys.
See you. Thanks.